To begin my CNC mill nameplate, I'm going to click on Mastercam X5, this icon right here. It'll take a second to load, but when it does, you're going to click X for the license agreement. This window is going to pop up then, and then we're going to X that out. Next, we're going to take and load our machine type. So up here in the top pull-down menu, we're going to click Mill. We're going to go to Manage List. Now I already have this added, but for you, you're going to scroll all the way down to the bottom. You're going to find MP Techno X5. You're going to click Add. That puts that over here on the right hand side. You're going to green check mark. Then we're going to go back to machine type. We're going to go to Mill, and then right here underneath Default is where that is going to show up, MP Techno X5. Click to select that. That should show up in our browser here on the left hand side, Properties, MP Techno Mill. Next, we're going to create our rectangle. We're going to go up to the top, pull down menu, click Create, go down to Rectangle. I'm going to enter in a horizontal distance of 8. I'm going to enter in a vertical distance of 4. Press Enter on the keyboard. I'm going to bring my mouse down to the middle of my screen. I'm going to click. Next, I want to move this block that I just drew to the origin. That's X0, Y0. So I'm going to go up to the top, and I'm going to X form from the pull-down menu, and I'm going to move to origin, and then I'm going to select this lower left-hand corner of my block. And I'm going to go right here to this tool that's called Fit, that fits screen. Next, I'm going to enter in my other rectangle. I'm going to click Create, select Rectangle. I'm going to enter in a width of 7.375. I'm going to enter in a height of 2.225, and then I'm going to press Enter on the keyboard. It's attached to my cursor. Now I want to place it on my block. So I'm going to come up here to my X value, and I'm going to type in 0.25. For my Y value right here, I'm going to type in 0.875. Then I'm going to press Enter on the keyboard 2 times. Enter, Enter. That places this box in the middle of my screen. I'm going to press the Escape key on the keyboard. That lets go of my rectangle tool. And now I'm going to go up to the top and Create from the top pull-down menu. And I'm going to select Letters. From the pull-down box here, I'm going to scroll all the way down to the bottom and select True Type Arial. And in here, I'm going to type where it says Letters. I'm going to type the text that I want. You can enter up to 7 characters if you would like. My letter height, I'm going to enter in 1.25. And for my letter spacing here, highlight everything, and I need to type in 0.2. This has to be 0.2. Make sure this is 0.2, otherwise the mill bit will not cut your letters out. Green check mark. Next, I want to enter in my starting position. I'm going to change my X position here to 0.375. I'm going to change my Y position to 1.25. And then I'm going to press Enter on the keyboard 2 times. Enter, Enter. My text appears here. Now I need to drag it to center it in the block. So I'm going to go up to the top, pull down menu, click on X form. I'm going to drag. Starting up here in the upper right hand corner, make sure you're away from your rectangle line. See how that top line highlights? Make sure nothing is highlighted when your cursor is up here in the upper right hand corner. We're going to click and stretch out a rectangle. Make sure all the lines of your block letters are inside that box. I'm going to click to select all my letters. I'm going to press Enter on the keyboard. And now I'm going to click the lower left hand corner of my text. And now the text is attached to my cursor. However, we are on copy right now, so we're going to go to the top and change it from copy to move. And it's going to delete that other set that was there of my letters. I'm going to center this up and down vertically and left and right horizontally. When it looks good, I'm going to click to place it. Press enter on the keyboard. Now we're going to tell how to cut our tool paths, how to machine the tool paths that are in here. I'm going to click on tool paths. I'm going to go down to pocket. In here I'm going to type my name. Lammer's nameplate, my last name and nameplate, green check mark. Next I'm going to select pocket, the area right here. I'm going to click inside the donuts of every single one of my inside circles. That's on the D and the E. The last thing I'm going to do is select this bare area between the inside rectangle and my text. And then I'm going to green check mark. When this window opens up, I'm going to go and select tool from the left hand side. I'm going to go to my library, select library tool. I'm going to choose 232 end mill, which is an 1/8 inch flat. Green check mark. Next I'm going to go to entry motion. I'm going to turn my entry motion off. I'm going to go to lead in, lead out. Turn lead in, lead out off. And then I'm going to go to linking parameters. Everything in here you're going to leave the same, except down here for depth we're going to enter in negative 0.135. Very important you enter in a negative number here, otherwise it's going to cut above the block of wood with a positive number. You need negative to cut in the block of wood. Green check mark. Your drawing should look something like this. We're going to go up to our post selected operations, the G1 button that's up here. We're going to make sure that this NC file is selected and NCD is in this extension. Green check mark. Next I'm going to change this to my H drive. That is your first initial, last name 000. Lammer's nameplate automatically pops in here, and we're going to green check mark. When this window opens up, the Mastercam editor file, we're going to take and close this out by clicking the upper right hand corner. Then we're going to see how our part cuts. We're going to select the plus mark in front of properties. We're going to go to stock setup. We're going to choose the top left hand corner. We're going to enter in a Y axis dimension of 4, an X axis dimension of 8, and a Z axis dimension of 0.75. This is the height, the width, and the thickness of my block of wood. And then I'm going to click the green check mark. Next, I'm going to click isometric WCS. Up here it looks like a wireframe box. I'm going to click fit screen. And next I'm going to verify my selected operations. Click this tool right here. I'm going to click play. It's going to take a little bit of time in order to cut your part out. This drawing or this rendering, what it's doing right now, is actually the same way that the CNC mill is going to cut your part out. After this finishes, you want your teacher, in order to check your part, to make sure that it looks good and you have your donuts cut out inside the E, inside the D. If not, we'll have to go back and change them. It's also going to do a final cut to trim up to make sure everything looks nice and smooth around all the curves, edges, and flats. When this is finished, you need to call your teacher over to see your screen so that you can cut your part when you are finished. A little bit more to go. There we go. Call your teacher over for them to check your work. When you're finished, we're going to click the green check mark. We're going to click X in the upper right hand corner. Are you sure you want to exit Mastercam? Yes. Your file has changed. Do you wish to save it? Yes, we're going to save it. Once again, we're going to change this to our H drive, which is your first initial, last name, 000. Right here, first initial, last name, 000. In here, we're going to type your last name, Lammer's nameplate, and this is going to be a MCX5 file, green check mark. Once you have everybody in your group or half the people in your group finished, you're going to go over here to CNC Mill on the desktop, click to launch it. We're going to click Translate Execute. We're going to change this to our H drive. That's first initial, last name, 000. Here's mine, first initial, last name, 000. In here you're going to find your last name and nameplate and CD. Click to select it, select Open, click OK. Next we're going to preview our part. The white lines that are on here are your tool path or the cutting path of the cutter head in the CNC mill. I'm going to press T and then F on the keyboard to view it. Then I'm going to press S and then F on the keyboard, and this is where you want to call your teacher over to check your work. Click X. We're going to jog, and that's make sure that the computer and the CNC mill are talking to one another, and where the mill bit is starting is where 000 for the X, Y, and Z axis are. Click Exit Jog and click Start. When your part finishes cutting, call your teacher over, and you are finished.